So um, I wanted to introduce everybody to Rocco Bova, General Manager, CHABLE Hotels Yucatan. Rocco is of Italian origin and has had been in love with his job since the age of 13. This was the age when he first had his first job in a bar. Since then, his curiosity, passion, and thirst for knowledge has taken him to work and live in 11 different countries and manage some of the best luxury properties in the world, from Singapore to Mexico, where he currently is the general manager of CHABLE Yucatan, in a multi-award-winning wellness resort set in the midst of the Yucatan jungle. Rocco considers himself blessed and one that believes in karma. Rocco will be delivering his speech on wellness in the new normal. Rocco, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Susie. Thank you very much. And once again, my apologies to the audience and for the delay, but you know, we are in the middle of the jungle here, and between technology and connection is not always the easiest way to get across many miles, because I know we have audience from all over the world today. So let me tell you, I don't really have a presentation in PowerPoint. I don't have a video. You know, my intention today is to share with the audience, first of all, our hotel and, you know, what we are all about. You know, what our values as a hotel, and what can we provide as a wellness expert to the guests or to the travelers. The second thing that I want to share today is about the importance of wellness today, and not just as an individual, but also as an industry. We need to think about, we have a responsibility as a hoteliers also to live a healthy lifestyle. This is very important for us as individuals, but also us to show to the guests when they come that we are in condition to receive them and to provide them a healthy and safe environment. And lastly, I would like to give you know, a few words of wisdom, you know, something that I personally have experienced, and something that maybe, you know, the guests can also, or the listeners can benefit from that. So let me tell you a little bit first about the history of CHABLE Yucatan. CHABLE Yucatan is now a 15 years old baby. You know, this is a dream that is already going on for 15 years. When the owners first purchased the land of this property some 15 years ago, they didn't know what to do, you know, and you know, through some friends and people in the business, in the hospitality industry, they were advised to open a hotel, because in Yucatan, in the state of Yucatan particularly, there was no luxury property as such. So they told him, why don't you open a luxury hotel? And I said, okay. He said, so a luxury hotel based on what? What's the concept? And these friends, they told him, you know, we can help you with that. We have the expertise, so we can give you some advice on what to do with your land. And so they did. You know, they put together a team of a great architect, Mexican, an interior designer, Mexican, and the operators, Mexican as well. So with the three together, and together with the owner, they started to brainstorm on what were the trend coming in the next few years ahead. And one of the trend in particular was actually wellness, but not any type of wellness, was spiritual wellness. So the wellness that is not so much the massage and the feeling better or the feeling good wellness, because this is very easy to achieve. You go to any spa in the world, you get a massage, you will definitely feel good immediately. But what is spiritual wellness about is actually feeling better over here, you know, making sure that your mind is clear for something that maybe is not helping you to move forward. So they began to research, and particularly research wellness for ancestral Mexico. And you probably know, Susie, because you are now working for Los Cabos, and in a property there, and you understand a little bit about the culture in Mexico. Mexico goes back thousands of years. It's one of the most ancient civilization and one of the most advanced too, by the way. So when the Maya people, in Yucatan and Central America were building pyramids, the people in Europe were still fighting with rocks and stick of wood. So the people here were, hundreds of years more advanced than Europe, than Central Europe. So by studying the culture and the history of the Maya people, the company that managed the resort the first couple of years at least, they came up with this concept of redefining wellness. And this concept remains to date the main pillar of CHABLE hotels. So we have 2 hotels at the moment, one in Yucatan and one in Maroma, in Riviera Maya, and a few more coming soon. By the way, we're going to have some competition for you too in La Paz coming in 2022. So with the wellness in mind, we decided to market the hotel as a wellness resort, focusing on Mayan ancestral rituals and activities that are very much part of the culture here in the peninsula of Yucatan. Part of that, of those activities, for example, are, one of the most, probably one of the most popular, one of the most well-known is actually the Temazcal. And the Temazcal ceremony is one of the most important, as well as one of the strongest, and one that actually can help you change your life completely. The Temazcal is like the womb of a woman. So a guest will go inside this igloo-like structure. It will be completely in darkness for about 2.5 hours. And during these 2.5 hours, at a very high temperature, so, putting volcanic rocks, incandescent volcanic rocks, and putting water with herbs, special herbs that will provide an aroma, but it's also herbs that help you cleanse your body and your mind. You go through this 3 hours, nearly 3 hours of rituals, which will completely change your mind. And a lot of our guests, when they go through this ritual, they come out in tears of joy, not so much tears of sadness, it's tears of joy, because they realize that finally they put back a huge weight that they were carrying maybe for years, maybe for decades over their shoulder. So through spirituality, you can actually get better as an individual. The Maya people, besides doing a lot of rituals, they were also very keen to preserve nature. And now more than ever, we know how important it is to be sustainable, but also to be able to give back to nature what nature gives to us every single day. Not just the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, but the environment we live in. We are here alive thanks to nature. So if we don't take nature seriously, nature will fight back. And nature can fight back very easily, and we all know what nature can do. And, nature can be very dangerous too if we don't take care of her. So by providing this kind of experience to our guests, we have achieved already over 4 years great result. And one journalist just a few days ago, she was asking me, Rocco, what is the return on the investment on wellness? And I said to her, it's priceless. There is no money. You cannot quantify the return on the investment on your well-being. I cannot tell you how fast you're gonna make your money back. I'm gonna tell you how well you're gonna feel once you get into a lifestyle that can provide you health and wellness for yourself and for the people around you. This I can tell you that is priceless. And the reality is that that's the real truth. There is no measure to understand how fast you can get your money back in terms of investment when you build a resort like that, which was a serious investment. We're talking about, in the $30 to $40 million US to build such a small hotel. But at the end of the day, you know, what we received in terms of reputation, this you cannot really measure it. So much so that now a lot of people, a lot of potential owners or operators would like to have our brand on their hotel. So that to me is already a sign that the return on the investment is coming. Even during time of crisis, I still get requests every month, or at least once every month, from people that they want to operate a hotel under the brand of CHABLE. So that gives me obviously the, you know, not just the pride obviously of being the general manager here, but also give me the satisfaction, the security that we're doing the right thing. Now let's go back to wellness and well-being a little bit. You know, let me tell you what we do also here for our team members, because that's also very important. And what I would like to say here that, you know, when you operate a wellness resort, it is also very important that you educate your team members to what wellness is all about. We created, for example, a wellness committee that takes care of the wellness and well-being of our team members. We provide nutritious food in our staff canteen, for example. We provide complimentary classes to, you know, they can do exercise or yoga, and we participate to many of the global events that, you know, allows, you know, including our team members, to be part of it. One which is imminent now in the next 10 days or so is the World Wellness Weekend. You know, we will participate as a hotel, but we will participate as a staff members as well. We're gonna do a 48 hours walk, 48 hours, so 2 days non-stop walking with a relay. So we're gonna be able to continuously streamline live, you know, what we're gonna do during this 48 hours. We're gonna be able to do Facebook Live or Instagram Live and show to our followers what we're doing at CHABLE to allow us to conduct a healthy lifestyle. You know, these are small things, you know, that I can tell you, but, you know, I don't know many hotels that, you know, organize a 48 hours continuous non-stop walk for their team members. You know, to me, this is great, you know, and this is something that I would like to celebrate also as a part of our brand. CHABLE, when it was open, you know, 4 years ago, now is our 4th birthday. It's actually happening in December this year. And during these 4 years of even my own time with the resort, because I joined basically at the beginning of the opening of the hotel, I was not very much into wellness myself. You know, my background is not managing a spa resort. For example, I did manage a hotel that had a spa, but I never managed a wellness resort as such. So I had to educate myself a lot over the past 4 years to catch up and to be able to be fluent in this language. But this time helped me a lot also to analyze myself, my own lifestyle. You know, what do I do to follow and conduct myself a healthy lifestyle, and to be able to talk to the press, to the industry, as well as to our guests. Today, I'm actually able even to put together a wellness event myself. You know, I couldn't do this 5, 6 years ago, but I've learned so much over the time that now I have this ability to be able to discuss fluently with the people around me. And I'm sure you will ask me some question at some point, and I hope I will be able to answer to your satisfaction, or maybe the audience, perhaps they may have some questions. The second part of my conversation with you, Susie, is also about you know, what we're going to do to educate our guests. So I would like to tell you a little story first, you know, and what happened. I'm sure you also lived, you know, the same situation as I did. You know, when the pandemic started about 5 months ago, and we were announced by our owners that we had to close down, not because the owner wanted, because the government obliged all non-essential businesses to shut down. So for me was a terrible day, the news. You know, I had to present to 250 team members that we will be closing down for the moment, you know, indefinitely. We didn't have a date when we're going to reopen. And I had to start to think about how I'm going to keep up with the team, how I'm going to keep their spirit positive, how I'm going to keep the communication with them, how I'm going to continue to motivate them virtually, because that was the only way to communicate between us. There was no other way. And it was pretty scary, I have to say. It was very scary because I didn't know how to do it. You know, I had no previous experience. Nobody actually had previous experience. We were all, you know, first timers in this kind of situation, and we didn't know what to do. So the first couple of weeks, I have to say, I was very scared and very stressed at the same time. But then over the course of these first 2 weeks, and most probably you, as well as many other people around the world, they started to listen to what was going on in other parts of the world. People from the same industry were sharing incredible knowledge through webinars just like this one we are doing just now. And by listening and watching others and learning from others best practice, I started to apply those best practices with my team members. And not only team members, because even guests were asking me, you know, Rocco, what's going on there? What are you going to do? How are you going to manage? When are you going to open? So I had to be prepared with those kind of answers in a very short period of time. So after I went over these 2 weeks of stress and uncertainty, I was able to turn around the whole situation. I was able to learn so much from people from within our industry, and gratefully so. I'm really grateful that after 1 month, I was actually able to even myself teach others what to do, how help them, how to get out of the situation of negativity, of the situation of not knowing what to do, and on the situation of uncertainty. And I started to help as many people as I possibly could, because they were like me several weeks earlier. And I said, no, this is my duty now. I have to help as many people as possible. And Susie, you will not believe how my situation changed, how my attitude changed, and how happier I became suddenly. So wellness is also this. It's also about managing your own self. If you're not able to manage yourself, you won't be able to manage others. If I was in a negative mood, uncertain mood all the time, how would my staff become who they are today? How we were able to open successfully, and now we've been open for 2 months now with, believe it or not, better occupancy than last year. We are doing better occupancy than last year. So it doesn't take much. It just is a very small move that you have to do once, and then you do it twice, and then you repeat again and again and again until it becomes a habit. And then your habit, if it's positive, can give you great strength. If it's negative, you get into a deeper, longer tunnel. You know, some time ago, Susie, you know, during another interview that I was getting, you know, from another industry journalist, he asked me, Rocco, do you see light at the end of the tunnel? And I said to him, I see no tunnel. Why there is a tunnel? If we all think there is a tunnel, of course we will only see darkness.
True.
I said, there is no tunnel for me. You need to put some sunglasses on instead, because there is so much light. Because I realized that when it's a time of crisis, if you get into the negative behavior, everything becomes dark and you cannot see anything. But if you change your attitude and you become positive, then you only see opportunities. So I tell you this. So since the beginning of me changing my attitude, I started to connect with different people in the same industry. So normally I will connect with people socially, or when I say socially, through social medias, I will connect with people, you know, in the hotel business. But the past 5 months, 6 months, I decided to connect with people in the health and wellness industry instead. And I became like a networker in this industry because I needed to learn from them so that I can share it with my team and with the people I know. Like I'm sharing now with you, by the way, and with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so by networking with people, I became obviously more and more knowledgeable about what was going on in the industry, what are the trends, you know, and what preparation I have to make in order to be ready when I open. But that was not all. So many other things happened because suddenly I became an expert, because if you learn fast, you can also know better, and you can also share your knowledge with other people. I became an expert, and then people started to ask me for my opinions, to the point that I was even appointed as a board member for 2 non-profit organizations. One is, for example, is the World Wellness Weekend, which I was telling you earlier about. Jean-Guy de Gabriac is the founder, and he asked me, Rocco, why don't you join us? Why don't you join to be an ambassador of the brand, of the event? And I say, wow, me, are you sure? I said, great, well, of course, I would be delighted to be so. And then a few months later, the Green Spa Network, which is also a non-profit organization that helps wellness business to become more sustainable, they also asked me to become one of their board members. I would never imagine in a period of crisis to be asked to become an advisor to other brand. So for me, this is a real clear proof that if you change your attitude, only great things can happen to you. And if you become positive, the positive will come back to you. So it's the karma that I mentioned on my bio. It's exactly that, you know, it's karma. It's as simple as that. And Susie, I cannot tell you, you know, how happy I feel at the moment. I am sad, obviously, for the situation of the industry, you know, and then of course, you know, I also feel extremely sorry for the people that they've lost their job, and there are so many people that they lost their job, and many people that they are looking for work, and obviously I'm trying to do my level best to help them. But I know it's going to be tough for the next maybe 6 to 12 months. It's not going to be that easy to get back to what we were about 8 months or 10 months ago. This is a fact. However, we can do a lot of things, you know, because the world is big. Industries are many out there, and we can certainly provide something in other industry. Hoteliers are possibly the best skilled people in anything that is social, anything that is to do with people interaction, anything that is to do with service. I think we have the best possible skills in the world.